Welcome to Peep This Out Reviews with Ian K.
Stay frosty.
Stay frosty indeed. What's going on, everyone? It's Ian K, creator, producer, and host of Peep This Out Reviews. If you guys can hear me right now, give me a thumbs up here in the chat. Let me know I am coming through loud and clear to you guys, and you can see everything going on here right now. We'll have everyone filing in just a second or two here. It's beginning to happen already. Let's see what we've got here. Annette Cervantes, what it do, what it do. Thanks so much for jumping on. Scott as well, thank you. I appreciate you being here right now. All right, we got the thumbs up from Braden. Thank you coming in from New Zealand, by the way. That's pretty banging. Very, very cool. You got to love the internet, right? It's just like literally everyone is so close together, even though we live in one big fishbowl together as one unit. So great to see you guys. We'll get started in just a minute or two here. I know it's a little bit earlier than usual. For those of you guys who saw my post on Instagram, I appreciate you heeding the warning of starting an hour earlier tonight. I figured 24 hours was enough time to kind of put that out there. I probably should have put a post right here in the community tab, but I don't like to filter just like giving you updates. I'd rather just send it on IG story or IG for you guys. But great to see you guys on here. Great to see everybody in. Of course, we're going to be doing a couple of reviews tonight. Just because I'm starting an hour earlier doesn't mean that the schedule is changing that way. So we'll get into that in just a few for you as well. And as we get further on in here, let me see who we've got here in the chat. Because again, my chat from what you're seeing on the screen here is a little bit delayed compared to what I'm seeing on my side, but it moves a little quick. So I'm going to try and see, depending upon how many people show up for this right now. Just keep in mind that I love each and every one of you. I'm going to try and answer any and all questions that are kind of asking me things at the same time. But again, I do appreciate your patience, and we'll definitely give you a show that I think you'll enjoy tonight. So that's the goal, is to keep you entertained for a little bit of time, at least the hour, right? So let's see who we've got here right now. We have got, of course, Annette Cervantes jumping in. I appreciate you jumping in. Also, Braden once again as well from New Zealand. Thank you for being here. E. Ricard, one of the main peeps here on the channel as well. I appreciate you jumping on, E, as always. Critical East Japan is in the house. You already know. Thanks so much for jumping on, Paul. Great stuff as always. Let's see here. Jeremiah, and yes, I know you know your name. I always say people's first name because I want you to know that I'm directing it at you. And then I say, hey, hello. What it do, what it be, what it do. It is what it is. Let's see. Annette is saying she's just finishing up Taco Bell. She tried the quesalupa and yours was cold. Mine look way better. That's a no bueno situation. But naturally, depending upon how you get to it there, if you're not happy, of course, with whatever you get, try and let them know if you're still close by. But of course, if you get it home and it's not the 100%, it is what it is there. But microwaves, I guess over 10 seconds, anything 10 seconds in the microwave mostly is pretty good. All right, so we got Drew's Food Reviews in the house again. Yes, an early situation. Thanks so much for jumping on, Drew. Ben Nguyen. And speaking of Drew, by the way, if you guys haven't seen his ridiculously stacked triple chicken sandwich monstrosity from a whole bunch of different places, you're going to want to jump on over to Drew's Food Reviews to take a look at the attempt at biting that a couple of times, maybe a little bit more so, with a little bit of extra heat thrown in for good measure. I'm going to leave it at that, so we'll move on from that. Let's see here. Gary C is wanting those crispy chicken wings from Taco Bell. Where are they at already there? I know, seriously, at some point I think we're going to see them. Probably maybe after the chicken sandwich eventually, whenever that shows up, the chicken sandwich taco. Should be pretty interesting there. Chris C is finally on time. I appreciate you. An hour early. Not normally my time, but, it is what it is tonight. And I'll explain why in just a second before we get started here. Drew says he's thinking of going the extra mile tonight. Okay. All right. It's all good. Hey, it's Friday night. You know what it is. Ginger Fit Dad. Hey, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Got vaccine number 1 today. Cool. Congratulations. Congratulations on that. Apparently, anyone after May 1st, according to President Biden, can put in for that finally, which is awesome. So we'll have to wait around that time for those of us still waiting there. Let's see. Jeremiah Brown is on here again as well. We have Braden from New Zealand. Ed Keaton in the house. Thanks so much for jumping on as always. Guys, we have 40 amazing peeps in the house here right now, and you have no idea what I'm about to review just yet. There was no advertising for this at all. But when you see what it is, there's going to be a reason for it. So this should be pretty fun. And of course, we're doing 2 things tonight. So super excited about that as well. All right, so let's get right on into this here, guys. Again, welcome to the show. This is definitely something I love to do. It's my way of connecting with you guys on a weekly basis, pretty much every Friday. Sometimes it kind of skips here and there, but I love interacting with you guys on live stream. It's definitely a blast to do with all the comments and everything on my videos. I figured this is the way that I can really focus in on all of you guys, and you guys are here and I can talk to you directly. We're live. We have a lot of amazing people here in the chat. And again, Thank you so much for your love and support here on the channel. Speaking of support, I've gotten a couple of new patrons as well throughout the last week. Jay Nepper has jumped in there as well too there. So definitely if you guys are on there and you already a patron, thank you so much for that. A multitude of ways to contribute to the channel. Should you wish to do so, of course, you're not obligated, but of course it does help. You'll find a multitude of ways down in the description box below. And that'll tell you how to do that, as well as the first pinned comment usually as well too that way. So a little goes a long way. So believe me, I appreciate all of that stuff there as well. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here right now. We're about 5 minutes after the hour currently right now. And I think we'll give it maybe just another couple of minutes and we'll get right into the first review. I think people who are being fashionably late right now, we'll give them a chance to get in because you're probably going to want to see this. And I can't wait to kind of do this for you because I've been waiting to do this. So this should be kind of interesting as well. The Trips in the house. Thanks so much for jumping on. You will see exactly what is on the menu in just a second here. We've got 2 things to do tonight. And this is going to be pretty fun. I have a feeling here. I'll start it off with the main one first because I have to. If not, it's probably not going to be good if I wait much further into the hour, if anything there. Gary C, which came first, the chicken sandwich or the chicken wing? Cute. Obviously, if you're going to put those two together, obviously the chicken wing. Come on, you got to get to the chicken first before it becomes a sandwich, right? Let's see here. Going down the line. Gingerfit says he's a veteran. That's why you're able to get the vaccine early. Cool. Very cool. That's awesome. That is awesome. Gary C, the Burger King spicy ham-breaded chicken sandwich makes driving all the way to Popeyes for me not worth it. Yeah, that's going to be pretty good. I know when that launches here on the West Coast, it's going to be a lot of fun checking those out when they launch officially. Jeremiah, thanks so much for jumping on. He's eating a Burger King Whopper right now. All right. Not mad at you. Home with a Whopper. I appreciate all of you guys being here right now. And thank you to Ed Keaton again for mentioning that. Hit that like button down below and definitely share the stream out with your peeps if you haven't already. This should be a lot of fun here. Annette, what are we reviewing? It's about to happen here in about a minute. And I'm going to give people 1 more minute. I have 7:07. I figured let's go to 7:08 and then we'll begin officially here. DCM Entertainment, what's going on? And Maureen Descatado, hope I said that correctly there. Thanks so much for jumping on as well. Doing okay. And speaking of which, actually, let me just mention that because you just mentioned how me and my wife are doing. We're doing well. I'm actually helping out the wifey with a little something she has to do in about an hour and a half from now. A little over, actually, around 9:30ish. So that's the main reason that I am starting early tonight, because I didn't want to cancel the stream and the way things were going today. I know I can, naturally backing it an hour. I didn't think you guys would mind too much, and I definitely wanted to get the content in for you as well. So that's the main reason why we're starting an hour early tonight. It's just helping her with a little bit of a project that she needs to take care of. And then naturally, we'll be back to regular schedule. So that is the only reason why we're starting early tonight. Let's see here. DCM says, old computer had for 6 years, little piece of headphone jack inside the sound system. I can't hear anything out of it, so I'm using a new device. Cool. Very, very cool. At least you can witness everything in its full glory on your screen at the same time. All right, so you guys ready for this food review number 1 right now? Let's jump into number 1. Give me a number 1 right over here in the chat, and then we'll get started once I see people are ready for it here. I want to make sure everyone knows what we're going to be doing here in just a second. Larry, have you had Good Food Review Place, the original Tops Burger? Yes. Actually, I need to do something officially from the original Tops because I go there pretty often. Let's see. There we go. We got the number 1s coming in here as well, too, there. Okay, so guys, let's begin with this right now. I'm going to try and do as much in terms of looking at the chat here as I go. And once I get all set up over here, we'll get this going here as well, too. If you guys have seen my Quesalupa review that just came out yesterday, some of you may have noticed something very interesting about it. And it was a very interesting experience, to say the least, because I was one of the first people naturally to get the Quesalupa. For those of you who don't know, you were able to order that a day in advance through the mobile app, and then you can basically just sample it and give it a go. So I've gotten the Quesalupa. I did it the very first time, like a lot of other reviewers did as well. It was definitely a lovely situation. For those of you who don't know what the Quesalupa is, all 2 of you who may be watching this right now, it's essentially a chalupa shell stuffed with cheese. Now, the last time they did this, the only time they did this, was about 5-6+ years ago. And what it was that exact chalupa shell. And on the inside was a combination of mozzarella and pepper jack. And it was a little bit of a haphazard type of, initiation, the way that it worked, the way that it kind of came out. Essentially, a lot of people got generally a good experience with it. Mine was okay, but there was a lot of unevenness in terms of who got cheese pull, who didn't. There really wasn't a lot on one side. There was more on the other. It wasn't exactly made, it was just the execution for marketing was awesome, but the actual product was a little so-so, even though it was delicious. I would probably rate it up there with the grilled cheese burrito because of the cheesy goodness that has. So the issue with it that I had essentially was that. So naturally, we have the quesalupa returns to Taco Bell's menu as of yesterday, and it's now in the menu. But if you guys look very carefully at it, it's not made the same way like the original quesalupa was. It's kind of like the cheesy gordita crunch, where they basically have some type of breaded pita type bread on the inside, and then they fold another taco, shell around it. And in between that taco shell on the outside and the main shell, you have like a cheese sauce or something they did. The double stacked tacos were like that. The one that I got when I ordered this was essentially that shell, but apparently I was riding convertible because they toasted the cheese like normal on the outside, but it didn't have the initial shell on it to give you that 2-layer effect. Now for me, I didn't know any different because when I bit into it, it had the thickness of the inside of that shell. So naturally, you're going to get a thicker chalupa shell on the inside, which had plenty of mozzarella cheese. It was full of cheese, and I showed a little piece of that was in there. You could see it. But the outside of it had a much more of a toasted cheddar chalupa vibe because of the cheese that it had there. And honestly, I think that's the best way to do that. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, and I don't think I may have mentioned this on the stream, last fall, we had a Taco Bell location local. Well, I wouldn't say local to here. I wasn't able to get to it at the time. There was something that was going on at the time. I don't remember what it was. I just couldn't get out to it. They were testing a toasted cheddar chalupa, quesalupa actually, at that location. It was like maybe about 40 minutes from here. The distance from me to Disneyland here in Southern California essentially is what that is. And what it came out to be, I couldn't get to it. I think what I got yesterday, what you saw reviewed, is in essence what a future version of the quesalupa will probably be, which is basically toasted cheese on the outside of a cheese-filled shell with maybe one type of cheese in it. That's just my opinion. But that's exactly what happened with that. So when I got this, now keep in mind, I ordered two of them because I wanted to bring one back for the wifey. It was the exact same experience. They had the toasted cheese. So when I tried it, it did have the denseness of the quesalupa, but it had a crunchiness on the outside, which was way better than I experienced it initially there. So super, super excited because of what the experience was. And it was delicious. I mean, it was really, really good. If you haven't seen that review, spoiler alert, I enjoyed it. It was really good. Portal Player, did you see that crispy chicken taco? Yes, I have seen that actually. It's testing in some places around the country. I cannot wait to check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. But that was the essence of it there. So what I decided to do, because for obvious reasons I really wanted to, was I went back and I decided to pick up the quesalupa along with something else. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to turn on, pink, we have our Taco Bell insignia right over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the quesalupa, and I didn't look at this. I'm hoping that the real deal is going to be what it is. So we'll give this a shot here. Hang on one second as I'm murdering this bag. A lot of sticker stuff on the inside. All right, there we go. We'll keep that in. All right, so foil wrap, all the standard goodness over here. And let me open this up and see. And yeah, already this is going to be what you're expecting to see. So let me put the paper over the keyboard over here and give this a go. And it says that's what I was expecting. Yeah, the crunchiness, I'm telling you, is really pretty awesome on the outside of that cheese-filled shell. And if you look on the inside here, and I've got my focus and everything fixed, so we got everything ready to roll over here. If you notice, this essentially is like the cheesy gordita crunch style of what they're doing here. They're taking an outer layer of tortilla and basically folding it on top of another cheese layer that has it on the inside of the crust. And you can see the crunchies. Basically what I had was all the crunchy goodness on the outside of mine. So my quesalupa was riding convertible, and that's essentially why this became what it became. So yes, I reviewed the quesalupa, but a lot of people thought it was the toasted cheddar chalupa. Somebody messed up. They don't have any of those available anymore, but just so you know, this one here, it's got all that seasoned beef on the inside. You have the lettuce, you have the tomatoes, the low-fat sour cream that's in there. I can see it in the very back here. And of course, a little bit of shredded cheese in there as well. So I had a little bit of the shredded cheese action and that pepper jack on the outside, basically riding convertible. And that's essentially why it became what it became. So if you ask me, I would probably recommend when you guys drive through Taco Bell, ask them, is there any way you can make the quesalupa without the outer shell, but toast the cheese? So it's the same concept that they made the grilled cheese burrito. They wrap it in like a cookie paper, that type of like a wax paper. And when they press it, that's why the cheese doesn't stick to the paper. So my guess is that's what they did with mine, and that's why it looked the way that it did. And I loved it. I got to admit, I loved it. So pretty awesome. Christy says, I'm listening to the review and I'm currently in my shop. Intake valve cleaning. Cool, cool. Thank you so much. Cleaning fuel inject the car. Nice. You know, I've got some issues with my car right now. I'll tell you about after we do this review that I'm working on. We may have a new addition to the family in the near future here, but I'm not going to try and put that out into the universe just yet. But we'll see here. But yes, Annette, ask for it. I would definitely ask for it. But as you guys can see, all the toasted goodness on the inside. This is maybe about, at this point, I would say about maybe 20 minutes old. I literally came in as soon as I set up the stream here and we got started at 6:55 my time. So let's see how good this is right now. It's the legit quesalupa. It's not like, you know, a little Halloween costume with that whole cheesy goodness on the outside right now. If you guys thought my chalupa looked the best out of the versions that you may have seen so far, give me a pumpkin right over here, because that may have been the Halloween costume variant that I was trying for you guys in my review. Let me see how many pumpkins I can see. If you'd like to see a toasted cheddar version of a quesalupa, I would highly recommend it because it was crazy delicious. Here we go, guys. It's quesalupa 2021, the beef variant. Here we go. Oh yeah. Tomatoes all over the place. Lots of cheesy goodness on the inside of that. Lots of cheesy goodness. Let me see if I can try and focus that in. There's so much white because of the cheese and the tortilla right there. But as you can see, pretty loaded on this, guys. And honestly, with 50% more cheese in this variant, this pretty much guarantees that you're going to get cheese from edge to edge. There we go. We got a bunch of pumpkins coming in here right now. You already know. DCM says, if I ever go to a bad review Taco Bell, I'd wish someone would call a helicopter and smash it in the billing space. Very nice, very nice. Fast food always tastes better if you let it sit for an hour or two. You know, that or you got to be careful about what it is there, Paul, honestly. But seriously, lovely situation. The execution, like I said, makes this one a little bit thicker because of that second layer on the outside, but the toastiness of the cheese, that is the wild card for me on this one. And the fact that I had a chance, if you guys haven't seen that review, the crunch was insane on it. It really, really added to the overall flavor. And on the inside of the thicker shell, there was plenty of mozzarella cheese that was in there as well. So you had all the classic flavors of Taco Bell, but with that flair and the puffiness of the goodness of the cheese on the outside. So do I like this version compared to the original? I would say it kind of feels the same to me. The overall look of it is the big thing here, because naturally, if you guys saw the other reviews back in the day, they didn't have anything crusted over like this at all. That's really the caramelization that they have in those grill presses when they do this really gives a nice distinct layer of, you know, additional identity to what this is. So this really is a quesalupa 2.0. I don't know if I would really necessarily call it the same. I guess that's all you can do, because the cheese is actually on the inside of the shell as well as the outside of it, and then it's pressed with that, you know, tortilla right here on the outside. But what you're getting is some pretty banging flavor, guys. It's all the classic Taco Bell goodness that you know and love, but with on the inside of a very puffy situation when it comes to the cheese. Let's go for a couple more bites on this here. It's pretty banging. Oh yeah. And you better believe you need this little, the quesalupa diaper in the very back here. It is a little on the greasy side, but banging, man, it's so good. Wow. Believe it or not, I almost missed the crunchiness of the one that I did. So you're going to get some of that across the top, obviously. But I got to say, guys, even though they may have messed up on my variant, I was riding convertible, riding dirty, so to speak, I still had the same inner shell as what this is, but a better coating on the outside. So for mistake purposes, if Taco Bell is not listening to some people that may be liking it that way, if they're testing that particular one, because like I said, they were doing that not that long ago, I would recommend that version comes out as the next variant of this, because it is so good with all that crunchy goodness on the outside. Drew says it needs a diaper for sure. You already know. Dom's World, what it do, man? Thanks so much for jumping on. Man, this is craziness. Cedric said it looks greasy. There's a lot of cheesy goodness on the inside of this here. A lot of cheesy goodness. So again, because of the lighting and the sour cream and the stuff that's in there, it's probably not going to focus very easily right there. It's kind of getting blown out, as you can see. I'm trying to focus it, When I did this review actually in the rainstorm a couple of days ago, it was really, really awesome doing that. I love when I do food reviews in the rain because it's a little bit of a pain to get certain footage. But when I'm in the car and I have the lights on, you don't realize how dark it was when I filmed that. I had the lighting set up. I had 4 lights to keep me evenly lit inside my car just to make sure everything was even. You can kind of see the shadowing behind me. It was so dark. The rain was coming down. I had people walking behind me. It was a pretty lovely situation. So let's go for one more bite. We'll give this one a rating. But obviously, guys, I'm so glad to finally give this variant a try. It's decadent. It's got a lot of puffiness. The cheese is pretty awesome. The pepper jack, it's more mozzarella-like than pepper jack. I mean, you're not going to get any steam coming from this unless you add sauce to it. But it's the classic flavors of Taco Bell. I don't think I need to sell this anymore to you. You pretty much know what it is, but with a lot of cheesy goodness. One more bite, and we'll finish this part of the review section up. Hang on. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of cheese. It's like biting into a block of melted cheese. And you won't believe how many tomatoes I have on me here right now. Hang on. Wow. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, pretty crazy here. Pretty crazy. There we go. All right. So overall rating on this one. Let me see here in the chat. What do you guys think I'm going to be giving the Quesalupa? Actually, no. What do you think the Quesalupa deserves score-wise? Based upon what you just saw right now, let me see what you guys think in terms of scoring. What you think the Quesalupa is on your scale, you know, right there. Do I like greasy food? When it comes to pizza, I kind of like greasy pizza, to believe it or not. Once in a while. It's because of the oils of the cheese. I love that. Let's see. I do remember the Volcano Burrito Portal. Absolutely, with volcano sauce. That was a lovely situation as well from them. And that says 8. DCM says 0.5 out of 10. We got 1 from Ed Keaton. We got 9 from Dom. Kyle 7.5. Well, I'm going to have to say, considering I super enjoyed the version that I had, I think it really elevates. And yeah, I hope you see where I'm going with this right now. I think the crunchy cheese on the outside of a Quesalupa elevates that just a little bit more. I'm actually going to go for this variant for what it is. I don't want to say it's made more simply, because it's definitely, you know, it's a little bit more consistent in the cheese department, 50% more across the board. We got 8 out of 10 from Michael. Let's see here. Tomatoes always run away from me, and yes, they do. I'm surprised I got into them tonight, Drew. We got 6 from Shelly George. Hey, Shelly. 10 out of 10. In my defense, it's lunchtime right now. Okay, I'll give you that, because honestly, as much as I really, really like that, the fact that I tried a variant of it may have been a little bit screwed up in terms of, you know, Home Slice doing what he did in the kitchen. This is actually just okay to me. I mean, it's tasty. It's delicious. It's not going to reinvent the wheel for Taco Bell. You guys already know Taco Bell is Taco Bell. But this variant is missing something for me because it doesn't have that extra cheesy crunch on the outside. So I love the fact that it has the denseness of the mozzarella cheese on the inside. I think that's plenty fine. And I had that same feeling of the Quesalupa, but with the extra crunchiness and the extra vibe that I was getting from that, that's going to be pretty much, I would say, I'm going to say about an 8. I'll do 8 out of 10 on that one. It's not horrible. It's delicious. But honestly, I think the version that I had blows that out of the water. It's much closer to a 10. It really, really is delicious with crunchy cheese and the pull and all the cheese you're getting on the inside. So I'm not going to go much higher than that. Like I said, it is what it is. But still, the Quesalupa, I am glad that it's finally back. Why it took so long to get back on the menu, I have no idea. This thing, I think, was a huge, huge hit. I think it came out like around Super Bowl. Back in 2016 is when I did this, I think it was. And I think I may have had something in the video talking about that. But decent, guys. Definitely decent for what this is. Absolutely. So good times for that. Definitely drop some comments down below if you're making it this far into the review, just so you guys know. All the timestamps for this video are going to be down below as well. You can jump right to the reviews or anything else that I may think you may want to, you know, learn about. Naturally, they're probably just mostly the reviews this week. But let me know what you guys think of the Quesalupa. Are you glad that it's back in the menu? If you've had it before, do you think it's just as good, if not better? Would you like to see the crunchy variant that I did, which I think personally is a better version of the Quesalupa, and I'd highly recommend you try and get it made that way because it's really, really good. Just drop those comments comments down below and definitely let me know for sure on that there. But guys, just a lovely situation all across the board. Portal, what's my favorite munchie meal at Jack in the Box? It's always going to be the grilled cheeseburger, that stack grilled cheeseburger from back in the day. Really, really good stuff. Cooking Conversations, what's going on? Thanks so much for jumping on. Let me see, I'm trying to go back into the chat here and see who else we've got in effect here. Shelly George, again, thank you so much for jumping on here. I appreciate you. Let's see here. KJ38 thought it was 3 cloves out of a 4-leaf clover. That's pretty cool, actually, for a 4-point scale. But then again, that only works around St. Patty's Day. You really can't do that year round. That's the only thing. Let's see. DCM Entertainment is talking to Vivian George. You guys are all, we have some amazing peeps in the community here. I love when you guys interact with each other here in the chat. You already know it is all about that harmony, that peace, and all that good stuff there. We've got a great audience here on the channel. 51 amazing peeps here in the house. If you haven't smashed the like button down below, please do so. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? We've got multiple pieces of content every single week, live streaming, bringing you the goods. And then, did you hear about new Taco Bell opening in Minnesota? And they wanted it to look like an ATM drive-through. You know, I have no doubt. It's going to be an actual restaurant. That's cool. That's pretty cool. You know, given the current state of the world right now, you know, anything convenient to get people, you know, engaged that way, quickly in and out too. I mean, you know, it's still going to be a few years before things are really fully back to where they should be. But we'll have to see. You know, we'll have to see, if anything there. Let's see here. Dom tried the new strawberry donut Oreos. Pretty cool. Oh, good. Good. Yeah, there's a lot of holiday stuff coming out right now. Obviously, with springtime right around the corner, and of course, St. Patty's Day. Krispy Kreme has a new line of donuts that are out there as well. Krispy Kreme has some of the most gorgeous donut promos, I think, like of all the places, the chains that I've seen. You know, nothing against Dunkin'. Dunkin' is okay, but you can't fade Krispy Kreme when it comes to the look. And I feel bad for those that have to actually decorate all that stuff. I mean, some of these things are involved. I mean, when you see what they look like. Have you seen the new recent St. Patty's version stuff? It's crazy. Vivian George, what's going on? I love that whole thing right there. Live long and prosper. You already know. So guys, in a few minutes here, we're right on schedule, about 7:25-ish or so. We'll get started with the review in just a few. And again, you guys will be able to timestamp down below, go to wherever you'd like for the reviews. If you want to skip ahead, you're more than welcome to do that, of course. Larry Nguyen, what are you having for dinner tonight? You know, it depends upon when we get done with the little wifey's project that she's got to do here. We have to travel out to the west side of town. And then maybe on the way back, we may get something, maybe drive through and bring something back. It's going to be a little bit of a rainy weekend here. And just so you know, earlier I mentioned one gentleman was talking about working on his car while watching the stream here right now. I've got some stuff that I'm doing on my car currently, so I have to bring my car to Honda actually tomorrow. I've been working on a couple of different things trying to nail down this particular issue that I'm having, and it turns out I'm going to need to have probably my computer either reprogrammed or something done with it there, but I may be leaning towards maybe possibly getting something newer at the same time. So I've been kind of casually looking for a little bit and pricing things and stuff like that. So I'll give you an update on that next week when we talk again in terms of what happened there. Who knows what's going to be? I should probably know what we're going to do this coming week. But just so you know, I've had my Blue Bomber since day one, October 2005, and I take care of my car ridiculously. So there's just a very interesting, you know, thing that's going on with it right now, which even my own personal mechanic that I know that I've been dealing with for so many years is having some issues with there, and it's very hard to track down. So I've had a lot of stuff done already. So I want to make sure that the next thing that I do is the thing that hopefully will be the thing that's going to fix everything. And then we'll be ready to roll with that. That's why you may notice a few different background scenes and different types of environments that I may be in when I'm in either my wifey's car or mine. So Larry Nguyen says, you know what you're having for dinner tonight? In-N-Out. I'm not going to say yes or no to that, but if I do decide to do that, I'm probably going to be doing an In-N-Out double animal style protein wrap tonight. I think I may do that. I'm going to ask the wifey if she wants to do that in terms of minimizing carbs and all that stuff. James Morrison, how many figures did you end up getting from the new He-Man toys? I still have just the main He-Man and Skeletor, but I'm trying my hardest not to dip into the other ones. The prices are already kind of, you know, stretching into the 25-30 range for a lot of them. So it's kind of crazy, but believe me, I'm trying to hold off. I saw the Land Shark is now on Amazon, so if Mr. Jimmy is watching and hasn't checked in, I'm trying my hardest not to buy anything extra, because as you can see behind me right now, it's kind of a nightmare. Just a bit. Ed Keaton, you had me at donuts. You already know. Cooking Conversations, Yep on Protein Style. I haven't had that in a while, actually, but essentially, if you guys that don't know, and Drew, you probably know this as well, they wrap pretty much everything you get on an In-N-Out burger, whether it's animal style or the standard, in lettuce wrap, and which is kind of cool. So it's kind of like a keto slash Atkins type of thing where you're minimizing carbs right there. Let's see. Would be amazing if the next review is Quesalupa Pringles. Wouldn't that be something? I'm actually all out of Pringles right now. The Pringles that I reviewed, those scorching versions, they're gone. Those were gone pretty soon after the stream. I got to be honest. It was pretty crazy after the stream. Really was. Cedric says, buy a new car. I'm leaning that way. But like I said, I've had the Blue Bomber for literally, it'll be 16 years this October. It's crazy, but I take care of my car ridiculous. That thing is like perfect inside and out, with the exception of this little issue that I'm having right now. So aside from that, we'll see. Scott, let's see. Are you having to push the start button recall? Use the key. I'm just got it fixed today. If it's 125,000 list, they would fix it for free. Nope, not that. My car is pre push button starting. And my car actually just hit 220,000 miles today, actually, if you can imagine that. I was driving it home from where I had it with my little engine light still on. Everything is okay to drive, but I just need to get that taken care of. But 220,000 miles. You know how many... that's the life of my channel. It pretty much did everything for me. It's taken me to test market reviews. It's gone all over the place. I've gone all over the place in my car. And I can tell you, it is just crazy to think, you know, how much time has passed with it. But again, you take care of anything, it'll take care of you. That goes for your own personal well-being. If you manage balance, you eat correctly, you sleep, you know, you kind of manage your stress a little bit there. If you work on the balance and take care of yourself, whatever you're doing will take care of you. And Honda is honestly very easy to take care of. They run forever as long as you take care of the basic maintenance. But I'm expecting anything over like 200,000 miles, you're going to start to experience a few things at parts that need to be replaced, certain things, you know, aside from batteries and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. Time for a new Pete Mobile, according to Drew. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I already know exactly what I would get, and I'm not even going to say it. I don't want to jinx anything right now, but I'll let you know next week, and we'll see how that goes. Love food like I do. Thanks so much for jumping on. I appreciate you. Christian Connor, how's your week? Ready for the weekend? Definitely ready for it. Believe me, it's been a very busy week. Just content-wise, a lot of fun stuff coming this week, of course. Always things in the can. I should have another quickie review for you guys, most likely on Sunday, which will be kind of something else from... well, I won't give it away. But at the same time, this piece of content will be for Saturday, so you guys will have this stream to relive should you wish to do that, which I appreciate all the amazing 70 plus peeps watching in the house here right now as well. So we'll have to see. So before we get a little further into this right now, I might as well do a little public service announcement for all of you guys as well. For those of you who are just joining us, we just reviewed the Quesalupa, the real Quesalupa 2021 variant. The one that I did seemed to be a little bit of an anomaly, even though the inside of it was the Quesalupa, the outside of it was missing the shell, hence the convertible Quesalupa for that too. Which, by the way, somebody from Taco Bell reached out to me after my review and mentioned that, you know, if I, you know, they were so sorry about how that happened, and if I was just chatting back and forth a little bit there with them about that there. But it was definitely a fun experience either way, because like I said, it was so tasty with the crunchiness of the cheese and the pull. That second bite in that review, you know, that was the bite right there. When that thing pulled apart and the crunch, and oh man, it was so much better than what I just reviewed right now, stock. Which, by the way, $369 here on the West Covina on the West Coast for this variant right now. The one that I did was $349. Different Taco Bell that I went to get this one, by the way. But it's up from $299 what it was the last time out there. It is what it is. So, you know, what are you gonna do? So let's see here. Bus 7, I appreciate you jumping on. Bus 7332, I appreciate you jumping on, man. Thanks so much. 30 minutes late to the chat. Watch for 30 minutes. Next trip at 8 o'clock. Cool. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the super chat donation. You're going to see yourself popping up over here and down over here if my thing is working correctly, which it should. Seems to be a little bit delayed. There we go. Popping in there. There we go, Bus. I appreciate that. You guys are official sponsors of the stream. Anyone who contributes to the stream, of course, directly, whether it's PayPal, which I won't know till after the stream, you guys will find yourself down below. I've simplified the description box just a little bit and added a few things as well to make it a little less wordy. So things are going to be changing a little bit there. And also a couple of like exciting different things coming your way as well. There's always things that I'm working on, a lot of fun stuff. So I'm excited to share that stuff for you. But Bus, I appreciate the super chat donation, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Vivian says I should get a Toyota Highlander next. I'm not a fan of Toyota per se, to be honest. It's just styling, and you know, I've looked at Toyotas and they're just okay. They're just okay. But like I said, I know exactly what I'm going to do, and we'll have to see there. But the RAV4, Annette Cervantes says right over there, there's nothing against the RAV. It's a cool little car. Even the Scions, those are pretty cool as well. But naturally, it would be like a whole new world for me because my car literally has no Bluetooth, no screen. You know, it's pretty much all after the fact with all that stuff there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Portal Player, considering a Tesla? No, I'm not balling like that. No, I'm cool. I'm cool with the other choices that are out there. I would rather have an okay ride and a nice place to live, and vice versa. If you have to choose between the two, you always want to have, you know, better surroundings and have a car that gets you from point A to B. It doesn't matter what you drive, as long as you get there safely. That's all that's important for the most part. And have a few of the toys thrown in for the good measure as well. Ed Keaton jumping in again, jumping in with the super chat donations. We got a bunch of stuff going in here right now. What is happening? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. There is a lot going on here in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. 2020 BMW X3 from Annette Cervantes. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. A Hummer. Do they still make the Hummers? I don't think they do. That's a GM ride, right? I think it's a GM ride, if anything there. Osh Hernandez, super chat donation. I appreciate that. You guys are jumping in here with a bunch of stuff. You guys are all official sponsors of the channel, of course. You guys are beginning to light it up right there. I appreciate that. I know my car thanks you for it as well. Trying to get there for these reviews, you already know. Critical, consider a 24-hour review minivan. That is funny right there. Hey, shout outs to Ken right now. I saw in my feed that he just picked up something for those stealth camping ventures. My boy Ken up in Canada right over there for KBD Productions, man, doing his thing, man. Just, you know, keep rocking on. That is craziness right there. If I get to the status of buying a separate vehicle for certain things, that's going to be pretty fun to do, I got to tell you. But who knows? If I can get whatever I have going on right now with my car taken care of, I will definitely see about doing that as well too there. Robert H, thank you so much for jumping on as well. Jumping in there, one of my patrons. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everything is really jumping up down below over here. It looks like everything is working. So another couple of minutes ago, we will see a second or two here what will be coming up for the second review. And I can't wait to do this for you guys. We're coming up on 7:40. This is going to be a first for me because what I'm about to do for you guys, I have never seen. I have never seen. Gerard Mullins jumping in with a super chat donation down below as well. It's starting to really kind of filter in here. What is happening? I appreciate you guys greatly. You guys are all going to be official sponsors of the channel, of course. There, we've got 82 amazing peeps in the house right now. The record, I think, is about 130, I think, or 130-ish, give or take right there. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Let's see here. Bunch of stuff coming through here. I wonder if this was from last week that's happening here. What is happening? There is a lot going on. I don't know what's going on here. Something is going on with my with all of these things coming through. A pinto bean. Just opened up a pack of caramel coconut Oreos from Michael Domayer. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, I don't know. There's something going on, I think, with Streamlabs, with maybe that may be from last week. I don't know. But, you know, I'll verify it afterwards. You may see all the stuff jumping on down below over here. But I appreciate you guys. If you guys are donating to the channel, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. That, I think, was maybe from last week. I think something is coming through from last week here. So it'll be verified, and we'll figure out what's happening. Streamlabs may be tripping. I think it may be remembering from last week. But I appreciate you guys doing what you're doing there. Let's see. Critical East Japan 130. Well, we qualify if not qualify. That's right. You guys do, definitely. I'm very, very grateful that even one person shows up and that one person watches my content, because anything over that is a bonus in general there. So I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I got to tell you guys, you guys have choices here on the platform. I know I've been doing this for a long time, but I greatly appreciate your patronage coming over. And it means a great deal, of course. All right. So if you guys are ready for round 2 of these reviews, let me see a number 2 here in the chat, because like I said, this is going to be a first for me. I have never had this before, ever, and I can't wait to experience this with you guys here right now. Andrew jumping on here as well. Sorry, Ian, you're one of my favorites. I'm so behind with your videos, but before I did the first one, I loved your channel. Thank you so much. You inspired me. I appreciate that, Andrew. I appreciate that greatly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Of course, you're going to be popping up down below as well. Ed Keaton, oh sorry, no super chat this week. No worries, Ed. I think something is going on with the notifier up over here. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys doing what you do. Believe me, it means a great deal. Let's see here. Love food like I do. We got twos jumping in. There we go. Critically Japan has a has a poo in the house. All right, it's all good. It is all good. Seriously, I appreciate you guys being on here, and it's all good with the super chat and goodness there. Mr. Jimmy, thanks so much for jumping on. We were just talking a little He-Man Masters of the Universe earlier there. I'm trying to stay away from the Land Shark. They also have Ram Man. They have Clamp Champ, which is back on there, and I think Triclops is available as well too. So I'm trying my hardest not to add any more chaos to the back of my thing over here. All right, let's jump into the second review. You guys already know, since the theme is Taco Bell tonight, I am definitely going to be jumping into something that I have never tried. And you guys are tripping over, like everybody is apparently, that because it's the return of potatoes to Taco Bell. And I'm like, you know, what is this thing? Should I do a separate review of this directly? I think what it is something that I'd probably want to try just on a stream for you guys because of my schedule right now. I thought it made more sense just to do this way. So what this is, I believe, is the spicy potato taco. And we'll try and keep that focus just a tad here. And I'm going to try and show you what's on the inside of this as easy as I can. Actually, I may have to hold it just like this. All right, that's not bad. If you guys are a fan of the spicy potato taco, because this is a returning item apparently, let me see some fire right over here in the chat. Give me a fire emoji in here, because essentially what we've got is lettuce, cheese, chipotle sauce, and their famous seasoned potatoes on the very bottom. So if you guys are fans of this particular taco, this looks as basic as you can get. Honestly, I don't think it's worth doing as a separate review. I'd want to do it, you know, clumped in with, I think, a main event type of thing. Michael Domer likes it. Okay, very cool. Annette Cervantes likes it as well. I'm not really super fan. I mean, the potatoes are just okay to me. I wasn't like, oh my God, this is like the second coming of fast food right now. It's finally back on the menu. They were hyping this to no end, and obviously all the sites out there were doing the same thing. So I'm like, you know, let's just see what the hype is all about here right now. Portal Player says likes the cheesy fiesta. I almost wanted to do that, and I may do that maybe next time as like a secondary review. You might make it a preview. If I remember to do that, I may do that. But plenty of you guys obviously love it. Let's just see exactly what this is. Of course, it's their standard tortilla, and this is clearly not warm anymore. It's going to be, it is what it is. So again, lettuce, shredded cheese, chipotle sauce, their seasoned potatoes. Let's just give this a shot. $1.29. It is as basic as you can get right now, and I think I probably would be better off just getting a standard chicken taco, I guess, from normal. But let's just give it a shot. It's a spicy potato, I think that's what they call it, taco. Returning for you guys right here on Peep This Out Reviews live stream. Here we go. Well, it's potato, it's thick, but maybe if it was a little warmer. Let's see if I can try and focus. Come on, get in it. There you go. Seasoned potatoes, a little bit of everything. I didn't really get too much chipotle on that one, maybe a tail end of it, but I don't think this is the best way to really experience this. I think the spicy fiesta potatoes on their own would be the way to go. Add Diablo sauce. Funny you should mention that, because that's exactly what I was going to do with this in a second here. I don't like Diablo sauce or any of the sauces on quesalupa, but with this, I think I'm going to need it. Let's go for one more bite, and then we'll go for a little Diablo sauce for Annette Cervantes. Definitely, you guessed it. This is just all right, guys. I'm not really a fan of that, but the chipotle sauce is banging. It's good. Taco Bell, so you guys already know, they gave me a bunch of Diablo in here. So, oh, there we go. Check that out. Bad Influence. Let me see if I can try and focus that in. Man, the contrasting is killing me with this one right here. But it says Bad Influence on the Diablo wrapper on this one. Let me go for a little... I'm going to try and recreate how I do it on my channel. Hang on. All right, we'll do it this way. And I've got my protection underneath. We'll keep the focus. You guys can see the Diablo action in there. Here we go. Hopefully you guys saw all that. Let me do a little bit more. This thing is like begging for sauce. It is just begging for sauce. Honda Pilot 2021, all the best, Vivian George. Funny you should mention that. I was looking at the Pilot. We'll see. We shall see here. Let's give this a shot with Diablo sauce here. And again, Vivian, thank you so much for your super chat donation. I greatly appreciate you. Hang on. Yeah. Yep. Diablo action, baby. With that Chipotle coming out the back. Banging right there. Stay frosty indeed. I think I need something right now, to be honest, because, yeah, that Diablo, it's not super crazy banging hot like that, but with the Chipotle creaminess, it's pretty nice. Guys, that actually is a lot better, and there's more Diablo that's kind of seeped down on the inside. This is just okay. This is not going to be my go-to. I'm not going to probably get this again, but at the same time, let me just add maybe a little bit more to it because it's just okay on its own. I'm not really a super fan of that at all. So this thing is kind of leaking here. Here we go. Got some protection in there. We'll try and get this in just a little bit. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. Trying to get in as much as I can for you. Let's just go for another couple of bites on this one. Diablo is good on this. And the final one. Wow. I like that Chipotle sauce. It's the same type of sauce for those crispy dippers that I did at the test market last week. It's really, really good. I don't know about score-wise with this one, guys, because well, I have to kind of grade it on my experience of it. And it's okay. It may have been better if it was warmer. But as it stands right now, no pressure with 97 people watching the stream here at the moment. Spicy potato taco. I'm going to go... I'm going to go 6.7 on that. It's above average. It's tasty. But it's all right. I mean, for those of you who love the Fiesta potatoes, nacho with the sour cream and the goodness there, I'll probably try that next week as a secondary review. I don't think that really works very well as a taco because it's dense, it's carby. I mean, the carbs of the potato, it is what it is. But at the same time, yeah, I'm not thrilled with that. You need Diablo sauce. You need some type of sauce to make it what it is. So I would easily recommend, obviously, your sauce of choice. But considering what that is, not going to be winning any major awards for me. Obviously, it's back on the menu because people wanted potatoes and they have to do something extra with it. I'll probably try the Fiesta potatoes with you guys next time as the first time thing for that. Then we'll give it a try to see what happens with that. But 2.5 for Mr. Jimmy, he says. You know, it was tasty. Maybe because I'm hungry right now at the same time for dinner, but at the same time as well, it could have been so much better had that been, I think, a little bit warmer. But not a super fan of with the experience because, like I said, it's a carby type of thing, and it just kind of is what it is. So hopefully, if you guys agree with that, give me a thumbs up here in the chat. If you don't agree with that score, give me a thumbs down. Let me know what you guys, I want to see what the consensus is. If you thought 6.7 was an adequate score, because like I said, you know, it's just okay. It's just okay. Guys, 101 plus peeps in the house here right now. We're smashing some records for a stream that was not advertised just yet. So I appreciate all of you guys here watching. It's definitely making me very, very happy that you guys are here right now. And I greatly appreciate that. And again, shout outs to all of you mad super chatters doing your deal, contributing as well. I had a flurry of activity earlier there. And of course, I'll verify all that good stuff and put you guys down below in the description there. But a good time, guys. Good times tonight for sure. Let's see here, Mr. Jimmy, Moss on the sauce, Moss. Moss on the sauce, Moss. Safety is priority number one, according to Drew. Ginger Fidesz says you need to have it warm. Yeah, with most things too. You know, like I said, the quesalupa was just kind of so-so, like the way that it was. But at the same time, it is what it is with that. Ben Nguyen, yes, Taco Bell location, something new to drink. Yes, it's the Wild Strawberry Lemonade Freeze. I'm well aware. Well aware. Good times with that there. Let's see here. Drew says it's too high. 6.7 is too high for that. When it's hot, it's a 7.5. When it's lukewarm, it's 5. So I guess indirectly, it's still a little too high for some of you guys. Dom says it's cool. Okay, thumbs up. You already know what it is. We got Trav Tries in the house here right now. Trav, what it do, man? Thanks so much for jumping on. Just so you know, if you're catching this on the replay, you already know we did the Quesalupa earlier. Talked at length regarding the convertible variant that I actually reviewed from my channel. Good times. Let's see, DCM. Ian, if you were a student at a middle school, how would you feel if you saw a kid climbing a classroom wall and getting into the second floor without the teacher noticing? Hey, if I was in middle school, that means that my age range would be within the same range as that kid. And if that kid is scaling the wall, I would be probably cheering him on. Right there. You already know what it is. Guys, and just so you know, too, Trav also launched his Quesalupa review earlier. I'll have to take a look and see what you thought of yours on that one. Trav, doing his due. Let's see here. What up from Whittier, California? Paul Martinez, thanks so much for jumping on, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Larry Nguyen. Yang Chow is off of Rosemead and Colorado, a block over. I know exactly where that is, for sure. I've lived in the area for a very long time. A very, very long time. Jason Callan. Jason, did you see that Sonic teamed up with Slim Jim for chili corn dog flavored meat? No, I had not know that. Craziness. Good times. It's always fun when you see a lot of the snack companies team up with fast food in some way, and then you see like some variant. It's really to push the brands, obviously, to get people to think of the other guys, which is kind of cool. So very cool. We'll have to see. Brian, out of curiosity, is YouTube your full-time job? No, I wish it was. That would be cool, though. That would be very cool. But it definitely helps, of course, you know, naturally there. The channel recently crossed 33,000 subscribers, guys. I just noticed this, I think it was yesterday we finally did this, and it was just insanity. I love all the direct messages and everything that you guys are sending me. I'm doing my best to answer a lot of those, as well as trying to get into my comments from my content as well. But guys, thank you so much. A lot of love for all of you guys watching right now. You know, I could not do what I do without you guys naturally subscribing and interacting with the content, sharing it out with the peeps that you know. But over 33,000 subscribers we've passed right now, and there is plenty of good times to come. A lot of content every single week. You guys already know there's never a week that, literally a week that's gone by in over 7 years now, where there hasn't been something out from me. Even when I was in the hospital for a week's time taking care of, you know, something I needed to do, that very next weekend, I just needed to get my head straight and really have some fun. You all need an outlet, a positive outlet to do something, to work things out. And whatever that is for you, whatever that may be, whatever your passion is, throw yourself into it, give it 110% of yourself, and just have a good time. The goal is to have a good time, and I definitely have a lot of fun here on my channel. But you guys elevate that to the next level, especially when you're here on the live stream with me and we're having some fun together. It's always fun for that reason there. I look forward to it, for sure there. I appreciate all the love there for hitting 33K, the trips. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Vivian George and everybody here. Party like a patriot. Fan of the Grateful Dead. Not really a super fan, but I know the music. Let's see. Larry Nguyen. What does water taste like? Gosh, you know, I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell you. Oh, let's see here. Goody Two Shoes. Jane, what it do? Thanks so much for jumping on. I appreciate you being on here right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. James Morrison, world needs more people like you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. I try and what you see is what you get. I love talking to you guys. I love having a good time with you guys. I don't like having a lot of silence in between, you know, streams and when I'm doing my things. So hopefully I'm not talking your ear off at the same time. But I do begin to feel it towards the end, like, man, I'm really talking a lot throughout this hour. But it's a good time because when you love what you do, it's transparent, right? You don't think about it, you know, with anything there. Paul, need to try Boston San Gabriel, California chicken. Really good. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And a lot of the local stuff here, once things kind of get a little bit more back to normal, we'll have to see, you know, what we can do local-wise. Let's see. Annette Cervantes, your live streams really do make our days. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words, Annette. And it wouldn't be possible without you guys being here right now, giving me something to talk about to you guys at the same time. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that greatly. Let's see here. Going down the line, I appreciate E. Ricard doing her thing here in the chat as well. Drew's Food Reviews doing the same thing. Mr. Jimmy doing the same thing with the situations. It's always a situation when we talk about situations when it comes to situations, because certain situations require various other situations to come into situational play. And when the situational play becomes apparent, those situations are elevated beyond the situational norm. So then those norms become the new situational norm going forward. But I got to tell you guys, at the end of the day, it's really just about the situation. Just so you know. Let's see. Anyone like Cornito corn ice cream? I never heard of that. Let's see. DTM. Taco Bell needs to bring back the naked chicken chips. Agreed. But I think the variation that you're going to see is going to be that chicken sandwich taco, which looks pretty interesting. So we'll have to see. Absolutely. Something to taco about. There you go. Paul, something to talk about. Man. You know, because you know what you're talking about, I was going to let it go because it's not your business not to know, right? Because you already know. It's not your business. Not your business at all. And Brian says, it's a cringe situation here right now. The Jollibee just joined the chicken sandwich war. I'm hearing about chicken sandwiches at Jollibee, but I have, my location is actually going to be opening up at my old Arby's location in the near future. So Mr. Jimmy was actually telling me about this recently. I have a few things to check out, obviously. And yes, Goody Two Shoes, it's a lovely situational situation. That is definitely the situation. Jersey Shore, unsponsored. Hashtag. Saber fam, but when the situation becomes part of the situation because of the situation, and when you watch the situation, it becomes a situation, it's always a situation. Yeah, but then when does it not become the situation if you're always having a situation? You always got to have a situation because the situation is always situational. Because the situational transcends everything else, right? Is that how that works? I'm thinking. And my brain's beginning to hurt right now. E says, I get paid by the situation. Then we have enough for that new car. We have enough for that new car. John Toth III. Yes, you missed the first review as well as the second, but it's all good because we are definitely going to be having this on the replay available for you guys tomorrow, which is a good segue into the latter part here because it just occurred to me what time it is approaching here, and I definitely have to get ready quickly to leave with the wifey here. So I'm glad we can close out the situational situation here on the stream because it was totally situational on an epic situational scale, and I couldn't have done this without each and every one of you guys. You guys are a special situation to me. Each and every one of you is a special situation because not only are you special, you're an individual who's a situational individual, and it means a great deal to me because you guys are just literally situationally individual. Yeah, I'm going with that. That's how I'm going to leave it. All right, guys, shout out to each and every one of you guys. I appreciate you guys being here right now, and I know I left the Taco Bell logo up in effect, but naturally, we had a lot of fun. I did anyway. Hopefully you guys, if you guys like what you saw tonight, give me a thumbs up here in the chat because I greatly appreciate that. Taco Bell, in effect, we have 105 people watching here right now. Thank you so much for being on here. We checked out the quesalupa as well as the pseudo boo-boo spicy potato taco. It is what it is with that. You know, it is what it is. But I had a lot of fun doing that with you guys here right now. It was definitely a lot of fun. I think I gave it away for next week. I think we'll do the spicy, the fiesta potatoes to see what that's all about because like I said, it's been like a minute and a day. I can't remember even having those. I don't think I ever reviewed them directly there. But if I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that here on the stream with you guys. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, it's that big red button down below. Definitely hit that. News content every single week, multiple times. I'm glad you guys are digging what you saw tonight. We have a bunch of thumbs up from all the awesome peeps here in the chat. And guys, thank you so much for each and every one of you guys. I'll be watching this back to take a look at some of the comments here in the chat as I was doing my reviews. But like I said, I couldn't do what I do without you guys. You guys make a world of difference to me as always. And yes, Paul, hit that Taco Bell down below. Paul's on fire tonight. He's on fire tonight. But it's not your business not to be in my business, right? I'm glad you are always welcome, Paul. You are always welcome. Simple Jack, I appreciate the look all the time. You already know I always call you out there for sure. I appreciate you greatly. And to everybody here in the chat, guys, have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for doing what you do. And thank you for being here an hour early. This review, if you're catching this on the live stream, obviously is up 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as of the next day on Saturday. So you guys are going to have this to relive, and I'll be able to watch it back and see if maybe it was a little too much of a situational situation for you guys. Hopefully you guys weren't blown out of the water with so many situations, because it was a situation tonight, guys. It really was. So with that, let me jump on over here to close us out here. I'm going to have to close out immediately as soon as we end the stream. So guys, let me just say thank you so much for doing what you do, which is having choices on the internet and making me one of them. I appreciate that. A lot of love to each and every one of you guys as well. You guys all make the world go round. All the official sponsors of the channel tonight, you'll find down below. Definitely, I appreciate you guys greatly. And you, like I said, you guys all make the world go round. This really is a group effort, a grassroots effort here on the channel. New content all the time. And you guys are amazing. So with that, I'm going to close this one out here right now. I appreciate all of the comments here in the chat because they help the video trend no matter what. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 120 amazing peeps in the house here right now as well. So I hate to go when we're just getting really rolling up here. But let me just say thank you so much for being here again. My name is Ian K, creator, producer, and host of Peep This Out Reviews, officially closing out the stream for March 12th, guys. It's crazy. We're further into 2021. Just so you guys know, the stimulus has passed again. So you guys should be rolling in some goodness here soon. We all will be, which is awesome. And again, like I always say, I've got brand new content every single week here on my channel. So stay tuned for the next review coming real soon. In the meantime, stay frosty. Good times, guys. I appreciate you being on here, and to all my amazing mods doing what you do, thank you, thank you, thank you for being part of what makes this channel beat and click and move, and being part of just a fun situation here on my channel. I appreciate you guys greatly, and I will definitely talk to you next week. We'll plan on next week, right? More new content coming up this weekend for you as well as always. So I love you guys, and I'll definitely talk to you soon. All 122 plus of you officially registered. You guys stay frosty, and we'll definitely talk to you soon. Peace.